Alright everyone, welcome to another RFC Reviews. I'm your host iCast, and today we have FT-29 Quietus Fans Toys, not Cyclonus. This is the day I am leaving for TFCon, so I have about an hour to do this review. So there's going to be a lot of pieces, and I just want to get this out there before I go to TFCon. So there's going to be a lot of pieces that I don't go over. Not going to convert this to IDW mode, just to give you a heads up right off the bat. Here's the instruction booklet, some of the accessories he comes with, and the transformation. Now, I've gone through this transformation one time. I've transformed it to vehicle mode. So I just want to go over some tips that I have, some thoughts that I have, real quick to get this out there. That way you guys can see how nice, or how difficult the transformation on this is. You do get some additional swords. We'll look at those real quick. This is of course for IDW. They come with the little sheaths that can plug in. You also have the holders on the sides here if you wanted to use them. So it's totally an option. And then you get one shorter sword and one longer sword. Again, really nicely done. Got some gold paint, blue paint in the center, black for the handles, and then silver for the blades and the hilt, I think. You got these pieces, which are the extra add-on pieces for the IDW stuff. So you can see how they look real quick. Again, they fold up. I don't know why. I don't know if you can include these in the transformation or not. I didn't see anything in the instructions about them, unless they were on like a page I didn't go to. Yeah, there are some pages I didn't go to, because, yeah, you can see how they sit on the legs there, and they just kind of plug into a hole. And okay, it says okay. Now, they seem to have a problem, which I also have in the photo. You can see right here, there's a gap right there. I cannot get this piece to close for the life of me. It's even worse on mine than it is on this picture. I'm actually glad I noticed that. Because honestly, I've been messing around with this thing for an hour trying to get all the panel lines to line up, and I just can't do it. Let's go over some more of the accessories. You have the bag of faces, which everyone's pretty much seen online. They look okay. There's some, I'm not even gonna. Oh, let's open the package. What the heck? Let's just go all Cyclonus-y. I do have an issue with this face. I think, and this is probably an easy fix, you can kind of see some of the white up here for the top of the face, depending on how it's pegged in. What you might be able to do is take like some black paint and paint the top. Paint the top of these eyes right there. That way, that white won't show through when you have this plugged in. Let me try and get this plugged in again. That's not too bad. Yeah, it's an okay face. So, and here you have his replaceable horns. If you want to do that, they are articulated too, so you can move them however you like. And then this just, I'm assuming you have to take this screw out that's behind the face in order to replace the horns if you want to. So there's those. Then you have this silver gun here, done with some black paint there, a little bit of blue up top. Looks pretty good. And then you get this gun right here, which is all just purple plastic. Honestly, they have paint on the smaller gun, but not the bigger gun, and maybe they're trying to go G1 with this gun, but it could have used a little bit of paint on this just to make it look a little bit nicer. And then you have the Target Master, and it looks like he can plug on to the top of Cyclonus. And then you also have the collector's card, if you like the collector's card. And I'm not showing off the box. A lot of people have seen the box, so yeah. And then here is that problem with that front gap. This will not, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but seeing how the promo shot had the same sort of problem, I'm not really sure that I am doing anything wrong. I just can't get this gap right here to go away. And you can see everything else is pretty much plugged in, but I can't get this center section to plug in. I don't know if I can shave a little bit of the plastic. You can see there's a lip right there. Maybe if I just shave that off. Not really sure, but it's ugly. The gap's terrible. And just seeing that it's there in the promo shot kind of makes me think it's not just mine, and this might be a widespread issue. But I don't know. I didn't watch anyone reviews. I don't know if there's any reviews out there on this yet. That's why I wanted to get it out as quick as possible, just so I can show it off and you guys can decide for yourself. Here's the underneath of it. Back. Again, looks really nice. It's a bear to transform. I will say that right now. It is not easy. There's a couple pieces. A lot of this is really super thin. So you want to be extra cautious when you're transforming this. A plastic spudger is a great idea to use to try and transform this figure. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's do a size comparison first. I don't have anything super accessible, but here is the Voyager scattershot, just to take a look at the size between those guys, just to give you an idea of the Voyager. So he feels really nice. A lot of die cast in him, which I always appreciate. But let's go ahead and get this thing transformed. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to come back here and just try and untab the arms. Oh, missed a step already. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take these little wing sections here and just push them up. Just like that. And then we're going to try and unplug these arms. And you can see how the hands kind of sit in the rear thrusters right there. And the other thing I should have did, which they're kind of doing on their own, is unpopping these little pieces right here, these filler sections, and they'll just kind of flip up onto the back like that. So there we got one arm kind of loosened up already. Let's get this other arm. Again, very, very tight tolerances. So that's I think what makes this an extra bear, just trying to transform. So there we got the arms out. And then you can kind of pull these out just a little bit. you'll hear that click out. So you got to pull these a lot. You can see there's a lot of movement trying to do it. So you can see all that movement in there, but they take a lot of force to kind of click in. There you go, they're clicked in right now. And then to pull it out, and you hear that click, that means they're all the way out. So there we go with that. We can flip this piece down on both arms. And then you want to come up to the tip of the wing right here and lift that up. And then this is just going to kind of sit back like that. And you can flip this wing back. Come back to the back here. And then this piece will push down. And then this piece will come around and tab in right on the side there. So it is nice that the wings, they tab very securely. And there's a tab right there that's going to tab into this back piece right there to kind of give you everything nice and compact. So you got one arm pretty much done. The other thing that's really hard when you first transform it, you can see this arm kind of bends back to get underneath this piece right here. And that's very important to do when you're transforming it. But the force that it takes, I'll get this piece back down, to kind of bend that down is scary. Very scary the first time you do it. So just straighten that up, and then you can rotate this around so this wing meets up with that piece. But we'll do that on the cleanup, because like I said, I'm not really too worried about that right now. So we'll do the same thing on this wing. We'll untab the tip, bring this up, then slide this whole wing up. Then you can come back here, fold this back, and then fold this one back. And then this piece is just going to fold back like that. And then you just want to collapse all this together and make sure it tabs in on each section. Just like that. And just like that. So now we'll come down here to the legs. Just get these arms out of the way. And then the other thing we can do, we'll untab the chest a little bit, just like that. Get that out of the way. And then we're going to split these legs. And then we're going to open up one of these side legs. Come on. There we go. Then you can extend the leg, flip the foot out. Come on. Flip this little piece in, just like that. And the feet are also on mine are very, very tight. Very, very tight. And of course, flip this thruster in, and you can even flip this tab down. And we'll close all that back up. The Advanced Toys has this, which flips around and rotates and does all this. I'm not sure if this is for that might be to help it tab in. I may have totally missed that step. When I was transforming it the first time. So that may be on me. So, but yeah, these are the right way for robot mode. And again, you can see, you know, these panels being this way in vehicle mode didn't affect this at all. But let's go ahead and get this other foot opened up. So open that up, swing this foot out. Swing this little piece in, just like that. And then close that tab up, flip this in, close this up. Come on. There you go. So there are your legs all done. And now we'll raise the camera up just a little bit. This just frustrates me. I have no idea why this would not tab in. So it just won't work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to untab this back piece that I could never get tabbed in correctly to begin with. And this is where a spudger comes in handy. Get that all the way out. And then this whole piece is on a slider. So it'll slide back just like that. And you can see in here there's nothing really blocking what I was trying to get tabbed in. So I'm not sure why it wouldn't tab in. But anyway, we'll just, what you want to do is rotate these arms, or these pieces right here that the arms are attached to, and they're independent, so you got to kind of do it one at a time, is rotate them back just like that. So it gives you this big opening right there, which is kind of room to work. And then you just want to come up to the top, and we're going to start taking apart or untabbing this section here. There we go. And this was another section that was very hard. You have to compress this down when you transform it, and I was having a hard time lining it up. You just want to be very careful because everywhere you grab it, this thing is very thin. So if you're grabbing it or putting force in the wrong spot, I feel like something's going to break. And you can see how hard that is to kind of get out. I don't know. It's on this slider right here. The factory applied a lot of lube. I'm not sure if you can see that. I might try to loosen that screw to see if that helps that a little bit. But just something to be aware of. So we're going to open this up. The other thing I forgot to mention is it does have landing gear. So if you're into that sort of thing, it has that option. But we'll open these pieces up just like this. And then you'll see this tip right here will flip down. And I honestly forget how this goes. We'll just leave it undone like that for now. And then the chest, which shouldn't have come together. This is another part you want to be very careful with. When the head slides up and down, when I was doing the first transformation, the head slid down and I didn't know it. And the instructions said to rotate the head 360. And there's 2 little marks on this, the back of his neck, because I was trying to rotate it while it was down, just like this. So I was trying to force it to rotate around when I should have been pulling the head up to rotate it. And then you can see a lot of people were asking about this, or some people were asking about this. His horns are adjustable. You can go out that far, or you can go in between if you want. Whatever you like. There's a little bit of room in there. And they're geared together, which is nice, so they always stay even. So you can see most of the figure is actually done by now. We just got to start compressing all this stuff into itself. This piece will flip around just like so and flip in, but you have to close this piece up first. Then you can close that piece in, and then this piece will flip down just like this and slide in. And now you can see how this whole section, this whole nose section, just kind of sits back. There's some die cast arms right in there, and you tab that in to his butt, to his bottom, and now all you need to do is rotate these arms back up, and again, it's better to do a little bit at a time. And then this piece will come down and just sit on his back. And then this will come up just like that. Oh. It does have forward and backward ratchets. Out the side is friction. His legs will stay. But if you hit, I mean, there's so much die cast in the feet that they will just fall down a little bit. So, which I thought they fixed with the BotBots. So it surprises me that they would actually do a figure where you're still having that same sort of issue with the legs not going all the way up. And then that hole is the hole if you want to put those extra pieces on to make him more IDW. And then let's just figure out what I'm doing wrong with this backpack here and kind of clean this up. I know this piece does slide up, come up a little bit, and that'll allow this to come down the rest of the way, and then you can plug this piece on to the back there. And then this piece will come down, and it all compresses very nicely. And this tabs in great. It just doesn't tab in quite right in vehicle mode, which is very disappointing to me. Hopefully I'm doing something wrong. Hopefully another reviewer... I actually have Bobby Skullface's in my bag because I'm taking it to him at TFCon. So hopefully, you know, he'll find out a way, or hopefully his isn't as bad as mine, and his will actually tab together. But there you have Cyclonus in his robot mode, which, let me slide the camera down, I just think is absolutely perfect. Looks great. I love the colors. I don't mind that it's white instead of, you know, some of the shows he was a little bit more pink in there. I think this looks better. I like the white face. I like the translucent pieces that Fans Toys uses. It just makes it look a notch above all the other third-party stuff that we get. And it's one of the reasons I go back to Fans Toys every time they put something out, because it's just, some of their stuff's just amazing. So, again, I didn't clean up the arms. I can. And again, this is all so tight. You have to be very careful when you're moving stuff. So, move this one, rotate that. You kind of have to pull this wing back to get it up over that hump right there. And then the hands you can just straighten out. And I'll leave him fisticuffs. But he's got plenty of articulation. You can go up that far. He's got rotation right there. Double jointed elbow. We could say due to transformation, but I'm sure they would have threw it in anyway. I am getting worried about this little piece right here because it's just, there's a little bit more movement in it than I would like. Hopefully that's not going to be a point of failure, but it's worth pointing out to be careful of, because it could be a failure point for this figure. But again, really good looking figure. You can kind of see up top how that whole center section just kind of collapses down in there. And I probably don't have this backpack quite plugged in properly. Let's try and get that all plugged in. Yeah, nothing really to worry about though. So, oh, his crotch does pop off. Just be mindful of that. That's the first time I had that happen. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, buddy. Didn't mean to pop your crotch off. There you go. I got it all cleaned up. So, again, really good looking figure. He can go forward. His legs can go forward. I gotta get this out of the way here. Go all the way forward, that far back, all the way out to the side. His knee is double jointed, so you can get more than 90. You got the foot tilt and toe tilt too, but it's very tight, 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 tight. Same thing on this side. And hands, obviously on a ball joint here, and all individually articulated right there. And then just from the back, he does not have a waist swivel because of the way everything locks in, so no waist swivel on this guy. But I think that's okay. I don't mind it. No ab crunch. I don't mind it. That's the new thing. Everything's got to have an ab crunch. I don't mind. Give me a good figure any day. I really like how it feels. It would be, the transformation is challenging. It would be a little bit better if it tabbed in the way it was supposed to. I would give it like a 7. Honestly, 7 out of 10. Would have been an 8 or a 9 out of 10 if it pegged in vehicle mode properly. The only thing that's kind of hindering this is it is a very difficult transformation, and the tolerances are so tight on it, which is very apparent from the factory lubing this thing down like crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and do a quick size comparison. Here is with the Power of the Primes Rodimus Unicronus, just for a size comparison of that. And here he is with X-Transbot's Scourge, which you can see really does not look as nice as the Fans Toys products. Stan Scourge. And here he is with the Fans Toys Galvatron. And we'll put those two next to each other. And again, really like the way they look together. X-Transbot's Scourge, which isn't a bad figure, it just feels so cheap in comparison to the Fans Toys stuff. So there you go. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you appreciate this review. Sorry it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, and I didn't transform this thing 500 times before I recorded the video. Like I said, I'm leaving for TFCon in a couple hours. So I wanted to get this video up and get it out there to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, just tweet at me at diecast2. I'll try and answer them while I'm at the con. And we'll see you next time.